What you doing, Charlie? Are you laying in the windowsill? Are you laying in the windowsill? Huh? You like that? Oh my goodness. She loves laying in the windowsill in my entryway. It's looking really nice out here, friends. My flower bed is just bursting at the seams. Look at my pretty morning glories. I put them over here and I did a trellis so that they would climb up that trellis. And there's my little moonflower. Starting on the fence. She finally made it. My big bucket of oregano and thyme and parsley. Isn't that just a piece? Gosh, I just love that stuff. It smells so wonderful too. I gotta come out here and harvest it pretty soon. And look at how good that's doing. That is thyme, and that's my French tarragon, and it's just creeping up. It's doing wonderful. And the nasturtiums are getting really big over here. I think I told you before, those are all edible. All the flowers and the leaves. I use them a lot in salads because they taste like pepper. Look at her in there. They're pretty. Getting ready to bloom. I love nasturtiums. Not only do I love nasturtiums, they are edible, but they are a good companion plant for just about everything you have in your garden. And look how beautiful this one's doing. Absolutely. Look at my basil. My basil is doing really well. Wonderful. My tomato plants, I gotta trim that one up a little more, but the stalk is getting pretty sizable on that. And my pepper right in the middle, loves it. My beans are starting to grow up the fence right here. This is all I do with them. I just get him around here, wrap him around there a little bit. Help them get started. See how they're doing in this one way over here. I don't think he's quite ready. Nope. But look over here. They're already climbing up. They're enjoying it. Doing fantastic. Look at my peppers. I am so pleased with how well they are doing. Absolutely. They've got beautiful buds on them. They're doing good. I'm so glad. Look at that gorgeous bud on there. I am so glad that I finally mastered the peppers. I never had luck growing peppers. Last year, they were just no good. This bed's doing really good too. Those are my zucchini. And there they are down there, the nasturtiums. And the zucchini, I picked one nice sized one off today. And I got another one right there. He'll be able to be picked tomorrow. They're doing really good. I'm pleased with them all. I trimmed some of the big bottom branches off so that there would be good airflow in there. And my little bird bath. It's really nice. Everything's looking so good. So good. Filled up my bird feeders today. Look at my little owl. I put suet in there for the Baltimore Orioles. And then I got, this is my beautiful crabapple tree. I always hang a little thistle in there for my little birds. That's another miniature crabapple. It will never get taller than that. I planted this one and this one, and they're both profusion crabapples. I planted them at the same time, and look, he's way up there. He's just gorgeous. Every year I get a beautiful crabapple or some kind of a tree off our nursery. And that's a forsythia bush. That thing just goes wild. I'm not fond of forsythias. I mean, yes, they are pretty in the spring, but I'd rather have a beautiful crabapple or a starburst locust like you see the yellow right there. Those are gorgeous too. Anyway, this down here is doing absolutely wonderful. And I know they don't, people don't tell you it's not wise to water during the heat of the day, but remember, we're in Michigan and the hottest it got today was like 82 degrees. So I watered today because the sun beating down on these, they got a little bit wilty. And as soon as I give them some water, they perked right up. So it wasn't too hot to water here in the day. And those are my Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to show you how I stabilize them so that, they don't blow over from the wind and the stalk will break and then your plant's dead. You won't harvest anything from it. So I'm going to show you how I do that. And then you can see him down here. This is my birdhouse gourd. He's doing really good. And that one plant will take up this entire side of the trellis. And then the other one is right there on this side. So, it's all doing well. That's a Brussels sprout, and that's a Brussels sprout. But look at the middle one. That was supposed to have been, that was mismarked somehow. I'm not sure what it is. I think maybe it's broccoli. But I want to show you something, and maybe some of you can tell, or yeah, broccoli. Some of you can tell me. Look at that purpley in that stem. It looks to me like it could be broccoli. I didn't grow any cauliflower seeds, so I don't know, but maybe somebody can tell me what that is. It's a mystery to me. I got pretty blooms coming out on my peas, and they're doing good on the way up the trellis there. You can see. And I also planted, these ones are doing real good too, but I also planted another round that are just starting to come up. And you can see them down there. So those are going to be pretty good. I'll have peas for a little bit. Look at the beans. They're going to make it to the pole too. I'll slide them over there. The ones in the middle, the pole beans I had, oh, you see this one's, he's attached already. He's doing good. He found his way. They're finding their way. Those are the Royal Burgundy beans on this side, and then there's the row of pole beans behind it. Now on this side, the pole beans, I planted a row behind there, close to the fence, and then the ones here in the middle were supposed to be bush beans. Well, my friends, those are pole beans too, so I may have to get a couple of little sticks out here so they can make their way to the fence with them. We'll figure it out though. I'll do something. I'll get them to the fence somehow. And then my crazy wild Egyptian walking onions. Look how they do. That is so neat. I just love that. Absolutely. My flower bed down here is doing fantastic. And those are pretty. Those are my marigolds. Those are going to start blooming pretty soon too. And my Cosmo. I got a pretty little bloom on my Cosmo starting, or a bud. Then I got that pretty little orange flower. Another nasturtium. That's all my spearmint. I have to move my sprinkler over here on this side so I can give this water over here. In fact, we'll do that right now. There we go. I got the sprinkler going. And yes, I water my tomatoes. I water them down by the roots, and they all get wet just like every other plant. And people always say, well, your tomato plant's gonna get diseased. Never have it. Never have problem with that. But I don't overwater them. And that looks so nice. I painted my old wagon, and there's my 2 pots of little flowers, and my daughter, she knows I love roosters, and look at that beautiful rooster she got me. Isn't he just gorgeous? I just love him. My hostas are all doing good. They're just bursting there. And then here's my other bed. I call this my little salsa bed. It's got tomatoes and peppers and my basil. My basil's doing really good over there. And that tomato plant is just beautiful. So I'm all excited. These are doing really good. Look at how beautiful those tomatoes are. Now see this branch down here? That's got the curled leaves. That's usually a good telltale sign that that branch is on its way out. So we're just gonna trim it right there. And I always pull the little weeds. That's one nice thing about raised beds, is you get very little weeds. I'm gonna have some nice tomatoes on there. Nice big blooms. This one's doing really nice too. Those are some beautiful Brussels sprouts. Now I'm gonna have to get my stakes and start staking these up so they're not falling over, because you want them growing straight. And let me go on this side, and you'll see my kale and my Swiss chard, and it's all doing really good. Look at that beautiful stuff. Just gorgeous. I got to get in here. There's a few weeds in amongst there that I got to get out, but my kale's doing real good too. And of course, more nasturtiums. And there, friends, is my sunflowers. I've got all kinds of sunflowers in here, just all different kinds. And look, it's got a little bud on it. See that sunflower bud? Isn't that pretty? Some of these will get tall, some will stay small. I've got everything from autumn beauty to little Mexican sunflowers in there. Those are my container tomatoes, and I'll tell you about those in a minute. This is doing really good too. These are all just flowers in here. Marigolds, nasturtiums, 4 o'clocks. I got bachelor buttons, Cosmo, and the bachelor buttons are getting ready to bloom. They're beautiful. Get the little bloom. They're the blue ones. They'll be beautiful. My 4 o'clocks down there. I love it. And then I got a big bunch of mint growing amongst there. And right smack in the middle of my mint, I got a couple of volunteer sunflowers. And over there too, they're growing out of the cinder blocks. So, and I got more sunflowers there. It really is looking good. I'll take you over there. I got the girls' stuff for the chickens. The flower pots are going real good over there. And here's my cabbage and my kale and my beets that are all doing really good. My marigolds. Look at my cabbage, it's just beautiful. My beets are doing really good over here. Absolutely. And my kale. I picked some of my kale leaves the other day and a few of the Swiss chard leaves, and I gave it to the chickens. And I made a little trellis here, just a small one, because my cucumbers, they're not going to get that big. But I got about 4 or 5 cucumber plants in there, so I can hook them to the trellis and let them grow up. And I got one stray one over there. But he'll make his way to the trellis. I'll make sure of that. But that looks nice. Good and healthy. And over here I got all my, these are yellow crookneck squash. And they're doing good. I got squash in there too. It's coming on. I'm gonna have a lot of squash, but it's the greatest stuff on the grill. Maybe that's straight. Maybe that's straight neck. Anyway, friends, see my little live trap there? I have a little raccoon, and he decided he was gonna dig a hole underneath my chicken coop and try and get in. Well, where he dug the hole, look at the dirt was clear back here. And of course he didn't get in there, but he made a mess. So my husband and I lined bricks all in there, and we buried it all back in, and now he's trying to dig around somewhere else. But we put a little live trap up there, and if we catch him in the live trap, well, that would be a blessing, because then we can just take and, you know, relocate him about 10, 15 miles away. Because you relocate them 5 miles, they'll come back. And they will clean out your flock in no time. The chickens are doing good. Everybody and their brother feeds them around me. My neighbors all bring them goodies. They're doing so well in there. Even the young ones are doing good. Look at them down in there. They're doing real good too. In their little flower pot. I'll show you around here. I cleaned all this up back here. And I got a big drum. It holds about, 150 pounds of feed. You see my beans over here. They're doing good. They're getting ready to put runners up the trellis. And then I got beans in the far box, and in the middle box, those are morning glories. So those are doing good. And these are all morning glories. You can see they're making their way up the fence, but they're also getting nibbled on too. And I'll have to figure out something to put on them. But the chickens are doing good. They're liking their run. I took all the straw that I had here. I had about 3.5 bales. Maybe 3 bales. And I just, when I raked out their coop the last time I cleaned it here a couple days ago, I just piled the straw right in the middle of their coop. And look at, they have it scattered everywhere. So you know that's going to be wonderful for the compost. Because they'll scratch it up and poo in it, and they'll make it so lively. It'll be good for your garden. I had to move that. That was over where the raccoon was digging. And she dug a hole all the way around that. So I had to move her over here, and she can hook onto the other trellis over there and have fun growing. So everything is doing lovely. And friends, it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it. But I love gardening. You can see in there my radishes are coming up. See, they're coming up. I planted this little box full. This had onions in it, and when I took all the onions, when I picked all the onions, I put radishes in there. We built it up one more level. I filled it and we put radishes in it. My lovage, my lettuce, and a little cucumber coming up there. The other one's coming up in the other pot. I just planted it just a few days ago. And this is squash. It's doing pretty good. And all my potatoes. They're just as happy as can be, and they're hilled up. I'm not going to hill them anymore. So after I hilled them up with grass this time, I got wood shavings from the hardware lumber yard, our local lumber yard, and I put the shavings on them because that holds everything in place. It does quite well. And then that'll be the last of it. They won't need to be hilled at all anymore. They're already going to be flowering, so they already got tubers underneath them. My broccoli's doing good. This area back here is doing really nice. My beans are all climbing up the fence. My tomato plants are doing really good. Cucumbers are doing good. My beans over here. That right there is my broccoli, and that's doing real good too. I got little turnips in here. These are all good bush beans. They're growing really nice. My beans coming up the fence. These are doing really good too. Like I said, I just put them up around in there. Just move them up in there. Just kind of train them up the fence. You just got to get them there. They'll finish growing up the fence. The tomato plants in there are doing really good. And then I got tomatoes down here, which, see how this branch down here is yellow? We're going to take him off there. And see these little things right here? These are called suckers. You don't want those in there. There's one on the other side too. Yeah, those don't do your plants any good. You want nice big sturdy tomato plants. Pick off those suckers and let them tomato plants grow nicely. These are yellow squash, as you can see. I got some on there. They're doing real good. And yes, I've got a frisbee. My daughter says, "Oh, the kids threw a frisbee in your flower or your garden bed." And I said, "No, I put that yellow frisbee in there because the moths that lay the eggs that turn into your squash vine borers, they're attracted to obviously the big yellow flowers on the squash. So I put a big yellow frisbee in there and I fill it full of water. They're attracted to it. They get in that water and they drown. And voila, your plant is saved, at least for the meantime." Now here's this little guy. These are coming up, doing real good, coming up the fence, the cattle panel. So we're going to put him in here and just kind of hook him that way. See that? Real nice. See the runners? They're throwing nice runners off. I just kind of get these runners and I put them around there. Then they'll start growing around and they'll do really good. I'm pleased. They're doing good. Even my cabbage out here are doing good. And I think I might have a couple of pole beans in here. So I'm just going to put a nice stake in here if I do. And I'll just put a stake in there and I'll lead it to the trellis here. And they'll grow just fine. They'll be just as happy as can be. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but that looks like a rose chafer. Where did he go? He's right there. See him? Oh, I hate them things. I'm not sure if this is pickle. I'm not sure what that is. Really, I'm not sure. I know that's cucumber. And that's a squash plant. But this is some kind of a vining squash. That's all right. You know why? He'll have a lot of room to grow. He'll grow right down there and grow around the ground. I'll put some straw down and he'll be happy. And these beans are doing really good. So I got quite a few plants in there. But you can plant beans quite close together. And there's my little bucket, my little wash tub. And I've got cabbage and not morning glories, marigolds, and a beautiful scarlet kale in there. Isn't that gorgeous? And then my peas, my little Tom Thumb peas. They're doing really good. I've been eating peas off them like crazy. They're doing good. I think I got one plant that's not going to make it in here, or one branch, but that's all right. We'll fix them. We'll take it off there. More in my nasturtiums. And then more tomatoes over here. And see I went to the dollar store and I got these little oil pans because I keep them full of water and that way it bottom feeds. And I don't have to worry about watering them every day because they use just what they need. And it works wonderful. Now I have to top that one up with some mulch and organic compost like I have the other one. This, friends, is the bed that I put we put together for the vegetables that my friend brought to me, the corn. So it looks a little sad right now, but it's got everything good in it. It's got the compost in it and the topsoil. It's fertilized. And as you can see, the tomatoes are doing pretty good. Now they're a little small, but they will grow. They're all Roma tomatoes, and I didn't want to throw them out. There's people that can use them. And I got a couple pepper plants in there. You can't see them too well, but hopefully that does real good. I'm going to take some time and work with this and get it, hand tilled up a little bit. And there, friends, is my pond. And I got two little pumps going in there. And it's so pretty sounding. And my creeping Jenny growing out of my old bucket. It looks pretty. I just give her water. I just splash it up in there for her. She loves that. For a little bit of water. Everything else is doing really good in here. I just think we need to get in there and weed just a little bit. My pot of flowers there, my nasturtiums, zinnias, and marigolds. And I got my hostas and my grasses. Look at my pretty plumes. Everything's doing good. So I'm happy. And then you can see the front of my house where I've got my hostas going. They're doing good. And see my little bucket of flowers. I got another one on the other side. I also got hostas growing in front of on the side of my house there. And I put my sprinkler on over there. You can probably barely see it. There you have it, friends. And yes, I finally got my hair cut. Whew, I am so happy for that. But everything's looking good. I'm gonna get a lot of veggies. I've already pulled off some squash this morning out of the garden. You can see, let me turn around. I got my sprinkler going. He's watering the big bed. It's pretty. So, it's doing pretty good, hey? And I love sitting by my pond over there behind me. Right over in that area. My husband redid those chairs and that table for me last year. And I just absolutely love it. So, there's another little walk around garden tour and some pictures for you to see of how good the garden is doing here. I'm pleased. But our big, huge garden up at the farm, I haven't had a chance to take you up there yet. My family takes care of that. One of these days I'll get up there. I promise you. But a deer, that little booger snot, broke down the fence and ate every one of the cabbage plants. So my sister-in-law, in a mad dash, went and bought, gosh, we We had almost 100 cabbage plants up there. She went and bought a flat, probably about 50 cabbage plants. A flat plus some extra for the garden up there. So she's up there tonight planting cabbages. Anyway, my dad's gonna order some deer repellent from the farm, or for the farm, through the farm, to put around the garden so we don't have that problem. Because he does have that problem with the trees too. And anybody who has a tree nursery or a nursery of any kind, you know, gardens, knows that a deer is not your friend. They will eat everything. They will annihilate your garden in no time. So thank God we caught that. The fence has been repaired. You know, hopefully we're going to fix that problem. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you all enjoy your evening, and I hope you enjoyed watching my garden tour. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.